have kind of those are where the elves are in the northeast, and then from there bottom in the bottom right. I don't know if it's fucking covered, but you have it in Google Drive if you need it. That's basically where it's basically a land of roaming different clans of warring orcs, and there's a centralized power of one major warlord, and that's essentially where some of us in the party may come from. And then in the southwest, we have basically the Shadowlands, and so that's basically the repository of all the baddies in the realm. That's where they hang out. It's kind of a land shrouded in darkness and fog and a lot of bad stuff. So be aware. And then in Stone Peak, you have in the northwest. That's basically dwarven clans. They're very well known for their hardiness and for their forgery, and so a lot of weapons and armor and things like that are basically going to be forged and imported to different lands throughout the world from that region. It's a very mountainous terrain as well, active volcanoes, things like that. And then in the very center of the Azorian world is Valoria. So a bit of information on Valoria. It's essentially the most powerful dominant region in the world. And what they've done is they've managed to basically collect all the most powerful and wealthy people from around the world and bring them into this one centralized location and big kingdom. So that's actually Steve, where your character is kind of from. So they basically conquested and laid claim to your land of Eros, and that's also going to be found right on that. One cool thing about Valoria also is that it's actually managed to not just separate themselves from the rest of the world in terms of economics and opportunity and wealth and skill and pulling together of all the greatest minds in the world. They've literally raised above the entire world, and so they're an island located in the clouds. And so every time essentially they need to do any trading with the rest of the world, where they're actually kind of friendly with a couple nations like Arenthil and Stone Peak, and then they might do a little bit of underground trade with Maddie's hometown. But other than that, they've pretty much just developed a way to trade via like a sky system. So just flying ships. And then from there, it's essentially this thought to be untouchable land where the wealth and the most skilled and the most privileged basically come together. So a quick idea of what Valoria looks like. And are you guys seeing this new scene as well?
Yep.
Yep.
All right. So
Like a big
again,
castle.
so basically magical kingdom in the sky. And then as we kind of look to the rest of the world, not everyone is so lucky, so we've had some independent people try and pursue a similar vision for their own cities, but it doesn't always come together. So we have some settlements that are kind of a little bit in ruin, kind of failed attempts at a cloud city, so that are trying to do the same thing but not really able to. And then as we go further down into the actual surface ground level, we can see that essentially the rest of the world is not in great shape. You can imagine that all the brightest minds and wealth leaving the surface world to better days to basically rule from on high has basically left them a little bit in ruin. It's left them vulnerable to attacks and wild predators. And so from there, you have a lot of basically warring factions and people trying to make do and get by as best they can. And so it is in that very situation that we find ourselves. So basically our story begins here in the Willow's Light Inn. The inn is located deep in the Whispering Woods, which is a region southwest of Arenthil, so that's that elven kingdom. It's off the main road and serves as kind of like a resting stop for anyone who's traveling across the kingdom or maybe even between kingdoms, if they can find their way to a port on the border of Arenthil. So it's kind of a modest but cozy inn, and like I said, it's kind of a resting place for people and for travelers, for adventurers on their way to reaching their ultimate destination. So It's a two-story structure. In the top floor, basically, you have bedrooms, and then on the main floor, you have kind of like a tavern type of environment where people can kind of congregate, play games, get a drink, get something to eat, and from that main floor is essentially where we start our journey. So let me go ahead and pull that up so you can get a sense of this place. And should be able to hear the sound here as well. So the common room is filled with warm, glowing lanterns and the smell of hearty stews. Each of you are kind of weary from your own travels, so you found yourselves here looking for a hot meal and a warm place to stay. And you can kind of get a sense of just how lively this place is in the main room here, with different patrons laughing and drinking. Some of them are even gambling and kind of grouping together and just kind of playing together. And overall, this place kind of serves as a very big contrast between the eerily quiet and discomforting darkness of the surrounding Whispering Woods forest, and this kind of lively and kind of embracing environment. So it's not the most, like I said, it's kind of modest. It's not the most well upkept, but you can tell they do get enough business from people traveling on through, and it's overall a lively and positive environment. But it's kind of a ragtag group of people. You don't really get a sense that there's anything beyond just needing a place to stay that's bringing these people together, or that they have anything in common in that sense. So it is here where your paths first cross. So with that, I'd like to do character introductions, and so we can kind of go around really quickly and just do really high level character intro. So name, race, class, personality, things like that. And maybe if you want, you can even tell me a little bit about what you want to be doing in this inn, and feel free to actually ask me about like what's going on here, what can I interact with, is there anyone I can talk to, things like that. So Maddie, do you want to kick us off with some character intro?
Is there a map of said tavern or no?
Yes, there is. It's less relevant right now, but I can pull it up here. So just for a visual reference.
Super zoomed in.
It's a little zoomed in for me. Doing it.
Yeah,
right?
it's gonna be zoomed in.
Okay. Never mind.
How come I can't hide your token? Steve, why can't I hide your token?
I feel like I'm like...
I don't know.
That's weird. Why isn't this working? Oh, is it? Did you just move it?
No, I'm not. I can't even interact with it right now.
I don't know what the fuck y'all are talking about.
Oh, okay. We all have to do it together. Okay, maybe that's it. Okay, so try clicking into the top right corner. Do you see where it says story mode or tactical mode?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you click on tactical mode, what do you guys see now?
Oh, I see the map.
The tavern.
Okay, for some reason... Oh, you know why? It's because we replaced our characters, Maddie. Okay, give me a sec. I'll re-add. There you go. Alright, cool. That should work. We'll mess with the tokens later.
Okay.
We'll have to like re-update our images. It's not worth it right now. Okay, but just for a visual reference, so again, I just kind of want to kick things off with an intro before we get too much into like what you want to be doing. But if there's some place that kind of attracts your attention, let me know. So go ahead, Maddie.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, you got Son of a Dirter. She is a 6'9" half orc, a fucking unit of an absolute character. She's roughly about 400 pounds, ripped as actual fuck. She has kind of this like leather-like material. It does cover a lot of skin, so there's a lot of exposed skin. So it's a lot of leather, especially up on the top portion. Hang on a second. I have to bring these up. There we go. So, so her bra is basically just like leather with some like stones going around like the top portion of where like what do you want to call? It goes around her neck. What the fuck that's called? And then she has a necklace which is made a bunch of it like very stone teeth, and one very in particular um little like axe with a stone on it, and then on off of her left shoulder she kind of has like this armor pad thing. um it's uh just one armor pad which has some fur on it, and on the right cuff there's also some fur as well, a lot of fur. And then she has one of those like Eskimo type belts thing with a skull on it, and the same thing goes with the wrists. I have a massive battle axe off of my right hand, and she is a barbarian. So the first thing I would like to do is I'm gonna go ahead and look around to see if I can find the bar.
All right. So you go ahead and take a couple steps in. You make your way. You look around, and you can find a bar. I'll just say it's up to the top right, and so it's the top right of the map. So it'll be on the left of when you enter from down there. So if you want, you can go ahead and take a seat in basically in that tabled area there with all those barrels.
An upper
And
like shit.
yeah,
And the
let's
which
just call it
side
here.
was it again? I'm
Let's just call
sorry, I'm
it here.
dyslexic.
No, you're fine. So, and feel free to like
I
move
even
your
know
own tokens around, and also you can ask me what else is going on, and I'll tell you what else is going on in the inn. So you go ahead and take your seat. Before we move too far into that story, though, and get your drink sorted, want to do intros for Tyr.
All right, my character's name is Tyr Warbane, and he's 6'1", long black hair. Usually has kind of black uh, clothes. Usually just something with a hood on, especially because he is a rogue. Um, he's also multi-class to be a warlock, so he casts spells and can be sneaky. Um, he kind of has this, I don't know, dark aura around him normally because of the training he's gone through to learn actual spells to become a warlock. Um, he usually has his sword sheathed on his hip, and he has a little pack with arrows in his back, and attached to that is his crossbow. Um, but that's pretty much it. Um, Tyr's also kind of a an emo kind of guy. He, looks like he'd be a fan of my chem for the most part. But he walks in, and the first thing he does is he goes to the bar to try and get a drink.
Okay, very nice. Birds of a feather drink together. I don't know why I'm taking strays at the moment with your casual intro of emo legends, but okay. Um,
Fuck we had these tokens in.
so Tyr, go ahead and grabs a seat. And then as far as the kind of character that I'll be somewhat playing as, but you guys are up to directing him for the most part, is Alaris. So just for some context, he's a half elf, half human druid. He travels pretty light. He's kind of wearing a kind of fur pelt and a satchel, and you can kind of see a bunch of different scrolls peeking out of it, and it's kind of overflowing a little bit. You can kind of even see just a bunch of things rattling inside. You can't quite identify what it is from the outset, but you can just see it's just like overpacked. He carries basically a long staff for just casting spells, I guess. And then outside of that, as far as personality, a little bit dry and detached, but ultimately very curious and very hesitant to make his way around the world and around new environments. Granted, or given his upbringing and where he comes from, it's kind of very much a secluded environment. And so, being in this new place or new places in general, he'll be very curious but very tentative about acting. So, from there, he'll probably just take a look around and try and find a quiet place to sit. So, for that, we'll just put him there. So, let's start back to the top of the order. Maddie, is there anything you would like to do?
Okay, uh, so Cinema Dirter is yeah, so she's sitting down, right?
Ah, yes,
Yeah,
at the bar.
yeah. So she's sitting down and she's going to not yell but raise her voice at the bartender, and she's gonna say two fistfuls, please, and
Oh,
then what?
no, go ahead, go ahead.
So she goes and says two fistfuls, please. And oh no, she's gonna try to get the bartender's attention. Excuse me. And then so she's gonna say uh this went better off of my head.
That's okay. Go for it.
Um
There's no bad thing to say.
uh yeah, I'm gonna trace back. I'm gonna yell at the bartender, and I'll say it a couple times if need be and tell him I need two fistfuls.
Okay, wait. Sorry, ma'am. What's Oh my God, you're quite. He kind of looks at you and he stutters a little bit at just the size of you, and the presence of this half orc just kind of like plopping down on this stool in front of him. So you're kind of just your presence alone is kind of just throwing him off a little bit. You can tell he's kind of unnerved that you're there, and he doesn't really see much half orcs or orcs come near here. So he's kind of intimidated and a little bit worried. Two fistfuls was it? So it was that is that a gallon or a mug or he's kind of like nervous, fumbling around with the different barrels of ale to see like what would be to your liking, and he's kind of playing a game of hot and cold with you, like putting one hand over one barrel or a mug, and you're just kind of looking for feedback from you.
And she's gonna come back and say, "Did I stutter?"
No, no, you didn't stut. I'm doing a lot of stuttering actually. You're not. So you're speak beautifully. I just would like to know how much ale you want exactly.
Two fistfuls.
Two fit. Okay, and he hands you 1 gallon of ale, and he says that'll be 2 silver pieces, please.
Okay, and then she hands over two silver pieces.
All right, we might have to go back and figure out how to do money.
Hang on.
Um,
Actually,
I got prices in front of me, but I don't think
it.
I added money to your character sheets. Like I don't know how much you guys are all packing.
I got it.
We don't have starting money right off the bat.
You definitely should. The way I was thinking about it is if we do, what did I think? I think I said 5 gold, 10 silver, 20 copper. Yeah,
Well,
let's
it
do it like
says
that.
right now we have 15 gold.
Okay,
I have
giant.
25 gold. That's what mine says.
That's a lot of fucking gold. Also, well, given your
That's
backstory,
what it.
maybe
I
it's
never
okay.
touched it.
Okay, okay. We'll workshop it. Whatever. So 2 silver pieces.
I'll write
yeah.
it down.
Yeah, just do like minus 2 silver or something like that.
Okay.
In your notes. And yeah, there's gonna be a lot of shit to keep track of, guys. Like, please take notes. Help me out here.
I gotcha.
All right, appreciate it. Okay. All right, so he kind of like a little bit nervously, some overflows off the edge, but he slides the gallon of ale across the bar over to you, and he takes the 2 silver pieces and puts it in his coin purse.
And she just starts fucking huffing it down.
And he kind of looks on in amazement. He's like, you're much taller than him, so he's kind of just watching the ale drip down your mouth and onto your chest. And from there, he's kind of just looking at his supply of reserves to know if he's gonna have enough to fuel your fucking hunger and your thirst. So he's kind of worried by your presence even more so now. So maybe we can pause there unless there's anything else you want to say or do, Maddie.
Nope.
Okay. And Tier, and again, you guys can explore, ask me. There's other shit going around in this place. You can ask me about it.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
So Tears just kind of watching this orc next to him just guzzle down an insane amount of beer, and he's like, "Okay." Just turns his face towards the bartender and says, "Hey, can I just get a beer? That's all. That's all I want."
And he kind of looks at you and sighs of relief. Oh fuck! Thank God. Yes, you can have all. You want just the one? Because I'll hang around you all night. Is just the one?
Just the one for now.
Okay. And then he kind of like
I'm
he
still
kind of
watching Cinema Dirt.
yeah, he kind of like grabs
We
he
don't
kind of
have
grabs a
one.
mug of ale, and he kind of like presses up his back against the back wall in between those chairs that you can kind of see, to kind of like squeeze his way past Senna without really disrupting her or letting her be aware of the fact that there's one less mug of ale now for her to enjoy. So he kind of like nervously squeezes by and plops it down on the table for you, um, and he says 2 silver pieces, please.
Okay, here you go. So then he
Yeah,
hands over
sorry, that
this
would be 4 copper. Sorry, that would be four
four,
copper
four
for one
copper.
for a
Okay,
mug. Yeah, that's 4 copper.
gotcha. Okay, 4 copper. I gotcha. Here you go. Then gives him the copper. Kind of puts his head down, looking at his beer, and then looks around the room. What what's exactly going on right now?
I'm glad you asked. All right, so let me pull up my notes here. All right, so staying at the inn tonight, there's kind of an assortment of different travelers. There's a group of gnomes that are huddled at the far end table at the back of the inn or of the main room. They look to be pretty confused. They're kind of pouring themselves over this small table with a big map that's kind of overflowing on over the edges of the table. They're trying to kind of make sense of it. They're just kind of confused, and they're kind of arguing over one another as they're kind of like taking turns, taking like swigs of their drinks and shouting over each other, trying to make sense of the map laid out in front of them. Um, there's a there's a couple of guardsmen, not from around here. Essentially, they're from. You can tell by the armor that they're wearing. You can see a sigil from the main city or the main kingdom of Valoria, and they're all the way out here in the kingdom of Erenthil, and they find themselves basically at this inn for one reason or another, and they're kind of just look to be off duty, just kind of relaxing, talking, and they're kind of a little bit. They're kind of looking around at the clientele, and you can kind of see a bit of disdain on their faces, like they're not exactly happy to be where they are right now. But they're just kind of chilling, and you can tell they just look really exhausted just by their their like facial and body expressions. Um, and then in the back left, I'm just gonna talk in terms of like the map that you're looking top down.
Mm-hmm.
So in the bottom left of the inn's main room, you can see basically a bunch of people kind of slowly coming together and gather around a circular table. Essentially, it looks like they're getting more and more riled up. You can kind of tell the money and insults are kind of being hurled around. So these people are actually they're gambling around this table, and it's getting more and more heated. And it's actually starting to attract a bit of a crowd a little bit around the table, and so people are starting to shift their focus to this ongoing game. Um, so, with that information, what would you like to do or say?
I take a sip of my beer and I see if I can go find a little pocket in the crowd to see how the game's going.
Okay. Um, so, if you want, you can pull up your token closer to that. Yep, perfect. And from there, we'll kind of pause really briefly, and I'll just quickly move to Alaris. So Alaris is kind of just keeping to himself. He's kind of noticing all the weirdness of this inn. You have this very imposing and heavily drinking half orc making a menace and terrorizing the barkeeper, and he kind of notices and turns more of his attention towards the game that's going on. Just based on his perception, he can kind of get a better sense of what people are really up to and how the game is going. It seems like um, people around the table are gathered around one player in particular, and they are getting increasingly more frustrated around this one opponent that they're all kind of squaring off of. And so, Tyr, also as you make your way through the crowd and kind of poke your head through different people's shoulders and look down at the table through the crowd, you can kind of get a sense that there's kind of one person that's kind of just chilling, taking it all in, collecting all their winnings while people are just lining up in front of her to get their butts beaten, essentially. So let me go ahead and pull up that next scene. Actually, before I do, let me make sure there's nothing I'm missing. Okay, yeah. And then as you pull in closer to the table, you can see a kind of red-headed elf or half-elf, you're not really sure. But from there, you can kind of see that she's really just kind of like chilling. She's kind of making a mockery of the crowd as they all line up around her and around their table for the next turn. And she kind of takes a big swig of her ale and says, "On to the next one! Who wants another shot at the champ?" And she kind of just like throws more of her coins on the table as one person gets up in frustration, kind of like throws over his ale on the ground and is just kind of looking really pissed off and says, "I'm gonna need another drink," and then I'm taking another crack at her. And then from there, is there anything either of you would like to do?
Maddie, are you still chugging beer?
Yes.
Okay. Can I see what game they're actually playing? Like, what's going on? Like...
Yeah, so essentially they're gathered around a game, and it's nothing fancy out here in the sticks, basically. They're just gambling on who can roll the highest set of die, and then that's what we're going to be doing. So from there, if you'd like to learn a little bit more or find out more, what would you like to do?
I'll take a crack at it.
Okay. So you kind of pull up a chair next to her, and do you have anything to say to her?
So, you're really good at rolling die, huh?
Oh, I'm the best at rolling die. Or did you miss the mountain of coins in front of you, sir?
Well, let's do a little wager. What if I beat you this time?
If you beat me, I'll give you half of everything I've won so far. How about that?
Sounds good. Let's try it.
All right. Go ahead
You
and pull
roll
up.
first.
All right. So she pulls out. She pulls out her sack of die. She kind of like rummages around through it and pulls out a very kind of ornate, shiny die. It's kind of got this kind of like purpley, glittering letters around it that seem to like shimmer every time she kind of like spins it around. She kind of holds it in her hand, and with one kind of graceful and very like almost rehearsed and very measured, gentle toss, she gets it to land perfectly, and it lands. Let's just say it's a D. Let's just say we're rolling a D20, and it rolls a fucking 20, nat 20. All right, Steve, would you like to roll the die?
I'd like to detect if maybe do a check or something.
Okay.
See if the dice has any magic qualities to it.
Okay, so I think that would be a detect magic. Help me out.
Should be detect.
Yeah,
What would that
it is.
be? Okay. Do you have your sheet in front of you, Steve? Can you do that? Is it just perception, or what would it be?
Maybe Arcana?
All right.
You said detect magic?
Yeah, because I think detect, or is detect magic like a spell? I might be confused. Detect magic might be a spell. Otherwise,
Let's
you might
look
just
at
have to make like an
Arcana check.
insight check or so Arcana, it says, measures your ability to recall lore about spells, magic items, symbols, magical traditions, the planes of existence. So that's more of like a lore about magic. So maybe it's either maybe it's a perception or maybe insight. Let's see. Perception lets you spot, hear, or otherwise detect the presence of something. It measures your general awareness of your surroundings and keenness of your senses. It might not be so magic-y though. What about insight? Maybe it's like to detect if they're up to something. Decides whether you can determine the true intentions of a creature, such as when searching out a lie, predicting someone's next move. Doing so involves planning clues from body language, speech habits, and mannerisms. I mean, do you have something that's like detect magic, Steve?
I mean, I have detect magic.
Oh, I wish you would have said that. Okay, then.
Oh. I didn't know if there was. I'm sorry. I didn't know if there was like an actual checker to just cast
No,
that.
otherwise you can cast it if you want. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No. I'll cast detect magic without her noticing. It's kind of like a quiet, almost like hand signal under
Okay.
the table.
Hey, I still
All right.
shit.
And is there a roll that you can do either on screen or does it say even in your character sheet?
I think it's
Cast.
a
Here,
cat.
hold on. Let me just cast it. Detect magic, and I don't know if there's a roll. Is there a roll?
Is there not?
I don't think there is.
I think it just happens. Unless
Let me see.
they.
You sense magic. The spell can penetrate most barriers. Okay. I figured there'd be a roll. It looks like it's not. Why would it not be?
Just says for the duration you sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of you. If you sense magic in this way, you can use your action to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic, and you learn its school of magic, if any. This spell can penetrate most barriers, but it is blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, and a thin sheet of lead or 3 feet of wood or dirt.
How come I'm not seeing detect magic in your on your character
It's in my
sheet?
spells. Oh, because it's in alchemy. I didn't put it. I haven't updated the. God damn it! I forgot to update the.
Well, because okay, so
Beyond-
just for
Beyond.
reference, the way we're doing it is we're gonna have like everything in D&D Beyond character sheets basically imported into alchemy, and then anytime like we level up or whatever, then we'll just like replace it. There might be some confuckery. I think the best way to do it is like for level ups, we re-import the updated character level from the character sheet in D&D Beyond, but like other stuff. Actually, we might have to like figure out the best way to do this, because like if you guys get items and store them, I'm trying to figure out where it makes the most sense to write that down.
I mean, we could put it in our notes.
Maybe.
Alchemy.
Okay, so
Or-
for now, let's use alchemy. Maybe the easiest way to do it is primarily use alchemy, and then let's say if there's like a big thing that happens if you guys level up, but we need a little bit of guidance in terms of, okay, what cantrip did I learn, or what the fuck happens with level 3? Maybe we go to D&D Beyond and just see it, because they have like a walkthrough process of like, you unlocked this cantrip, like pick whatever spell you have in level 3 now. And then we just mirror that. Instead of like doing the import thing, we just do it manually after doing that in alchemy. Okay, hopefully that made sense. If not, we'll get to it. For now, just use alchemy. TLDR, use alchemy.
Okay.
But yeah, if you have, it looks like it's a level 1 divination, so for sure we can go for it. So you cast detect magic, and from there basically you can kind of get a sense of all the different glowing or all the different magic items in this room within a 30 feet radius. And so you kind of look around and you focus your gaze more so directly at her. You kind of look her up and down. It doesn't seem like anything on her is magical, but when you glance towards the die that she's using, you can kind of see a magical aura around that.
Okay. So I crack a smile, and I look right into her eyes, hoping that she'll react like I know something. So just.
Okay.
All right.
She kind of looks at you knowingly and says, we're here to roll dice, nothing else, bud, okay? So go ahead and roll the whatever dice you got.
So I start laughing at that point. And I go, okay, so this die is fixed 100%. If I roll that die, will it be a 20?
I assure you that's neither here nor there. These die, these die were a gift from my dead mother. She would never imbue me with such power for me to only use it for such trivial games in a fucking inn. Are you insane? These die were all she had. This is my property. I don't understand why you feel entitled.
So I pick up the die. I pick up the die.
Well, no. If you're gonna do that, then do like a sleight of hand check or some shit.
Okay.
Okay, and okay, I'll do it and then I'll jump in. Go ahead. let me see her. I guess what would be like the DC for it.
Ooh.
Ooh,
Nice roll.
22. Okay, so you do grab the die. As she sees you grabbing them, she kind of kicks her boot up against the side of her chair leg, and then from there, you can see like basically among her belongings that's leaned up against her chair leg is a big burlap sack that she's got carrying, and you can't quite see like what else is in there. But after she kicks it, you see kind of it moving around. You see rummaging, and then popping out of the bag comes a basically her familiar. So it's a little fox, and it starts basically pops out of the bag and starts bobbing and weaving its way through the crowd and scurrying around, and it actually ends up like crawling up and down everybody's shoulders and near people's like belts and waistlines, and it even makes its way to Senna, and you can kind of feel this kind of like brush of fur brushing against your shoulder and neck and like scurrying around you and making its way and kind of weaving in and out through the crowd as well. So as that's going on, so you just grabbed her die, Steve, or Tyr, go ahead.
Okay, so that's going on. I toss the die.
Okay, so you toss the die, and it instantly rolls a critical failure. It instantly rolls a 1. And she kind of looks at you and says, "I don't make the rules. Lady Luck just isn't your gal, and neither am I." And then she kind of swipes the die back. So I'll go ahead and I'll roll a fucking sleight of hand as well for her. That is a 16. So she does grab them back.
Okay.
And from there, do you say or do anything?
I just look at her and say, "Guess I'm wrong." And I stand up, back into the crowd.
Okay. As
To
you're
watch
backing.
more. To watch more.
Okay. Cool. As you back up into the crowd, you kind of also feel this little mischievous fox making its way and like circling around you and brushing past your chest and your shoulder and kind of like climbing down your arm, and then it's kind of scurries back onto the floor and kind of like zips around through the floor and through the tiles, and then hops its way back into her bag. And then from there she kind of like stands up and looks at the crowd and says, "Is there no one that can end my winning streak? Is there?" And then from there everybody starts like booing and kind of like getting even more and more pissed off at this lady, that they can't seem to crack her and get the winnings back that she's been basically farming from this inn the entire time. So Senna, you've been patient, drinking your ale. Anything you want to do?
Chugging her ale.
Chugging it, double fisting her ale.
So, all right. So what she's gonna do is, so she just got done chugging her ale, and then she's gonna point back at the bartender and get his attention.
Yeah.
And then, so she'll say, "Hey, you again."
Okay, to the
To-
drink. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and then he kind of like jolts back in against the bar behind him and says, yes. More
then-
more ale, madam?
And then she's gonna I don't know how fucking big this thing is,
Go for
but
it.
she's gonna take so she's gonna take it and then point it at him, and there's clearly no fucking words on this mug, but it says, "If found, please refill," and then she's gonna fucking hand it back to him. And then she's gonna tilt it like it's empty, and then she's like, "Last time I checked, this looks empty," and then kind of like push it
Okay.
into him.
Okay, so he does, all right, he does kind of compose himself and like, okay, back to business, I suppose. And he says, "Okay, that'll be another, what did I say, 2 silver pieces?"
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 silver pieces. And he fills it up and plops it back down on the wooden bar top.
All right, and then she's gonna say thank you, and then she's kind of take it back in her hands, and then kind of turn around and get like the lay of the land, what's going on.
Okay. So as you kind of like swivel around and turn your gaze to the crowd, you can kind of see them all again just getting more and more frustrated. It's pulling even more people in as this unknown woman basically is making a genuine ass of herself, but having a real good time doing it, and making a fool of basically everybody who steps up. So she's kind of goading anybody else in the crowd who wants to step up and try and take their chance. So she kind of like sees you in the distance and looks at you, kind of like she notices that you've been harassing the barkeeper, and she goes, "Now you look like a girl who knows how to party. What do you say?"
And you have to repeat that. My headset cut out. I'm sorry.
Okay. So she kind of goads you in, and she says, "You look like someone who knows how to party. What do you say? You wanna roll the die with me?"
She said, "Sure, why not?"
Okay.
And then she's gonna stand up and then, what do you want to call? Makes her way over there heavily.
Okay.
And then, oh, sorry.
No, go.
Oh, go.
I got nothing. Go ahead.
So she's gonna, she will, yeah, she's gonna go ahead and make her way over there, and then, she's gonna look at this little small gremlin dude sitting in the seat that's across from her, and she's gonna go, "You up, move!"
All right. So this frightened dude basically pops himself up and kind of like gestures like very gentlemanly for you to grab the seat.
And then she plops down on said seat.
Okay. So from there, she basically takes her turn, rolls her die, and then yet again with a very graceful, almost rehearsed, like toss of the die, she gets yet another nat 20 and says, "I just cannot be stopped," and then hands it over to you and kind of like slams it on the table next to you in front of you, and says, "It's all yours." And you know what? Just to make it interesting, let's have you ante up. How much are you willing to bet?
Well, how much do you have?
Look around, hun. I'm basically bleeding this place dry. And keep in mind, if you do beat me, and there's at least a 1 in 20 chance by the side of this die, and she kind of like holds it up, like mirroring all the different shimmering angles of it, that you'll be able to win everybody's. Fuck that. We're gonna take everybody's winning, not just half, like I offered the last schmuck loser, D-Gen, and slams the coin purse on the table, and you can hear the kind of the weight of the fucking coin purse like clanging against the table, and even the legs of the table buckling a little bit under its weight. And then that really fucking like gins up the entire crowd. They're basically desperate for somebody to finally put her in her place. So what do you do?
I'm going to ask her what are the I'm gonna ask her what the rules of the game are.
Real simple. Go ahead and ante up. I'll go ahead and keep it. All the odds are in your favor here, really. Go ahead and ante up at least 5 gold piece or whatever. What do you have any on you? You look a little bit. Honey, you gotta get some new clothes. You look a little bit homeless. But if you got anything, just go ahead, whatever you got, and put it on the table.
So she's gonna reach into her waistband, take the 5 gold, and just slam it on the table.
Okay. And then as you slam it, how hard do you slam it?
Like pretty fucking hard.
Pretty fucking hard. All right, so you put in a good deal of strength in this. So even though it's 5 gold compared to her giant sack, the fucking weight and strength of your fist like cracks open and like splints open the wooden table surface, and that actually does kind of like jar her a little bit. She's kind of a little bit taken aback and intimidated that someone's being this aggressive. So from there, she kind of like takes the 5 gold, puts it in a pile in the center of the table, and gives you the die to roll.
And then I'm gonna tell her, nope, not this one. I'm gonna take her die and I'm gonna like put it back towards her.
Uh-huh.
And then Senna's gonna reach into her waistband and grab her own die.
I was
And
hoping
then
you'd do
she's
that.
and then she's gonna throw it.
Okay. And she sees you kind of pull them out, and as you're doing that, those aren't regulation. I don't know what those are. What kind of die are those?
And I don't know what kind of die yours is, so it can probably go fuck itself.
Madam, there are rules to this game. Die throwing is an ancient practice, and we don't mess with the rules around here. This is a fine establishment, and you're bringing in these foreign die from your degenerate orc nation. I don't know where you got them. I don't know where you picked it up, but I don't think it's worth it for you to sully this fine establishment with whatever these are laced with.
So out of the crowd, I just go, "Let her roll!"
Okay. And then so as that happens, basically the crowd starts to join you. Let her roll! Let her roll! And she kind of like feels the pressure from the crowd that she is now realizing she may have pushed a little bit too far. And now it's kind of coming to a head, especially with this newcomer who's especially pissed and like at least twice or 3 times her size. So with that, she kind of like backs off. All right, go ahead and roll. And as she does that, she kind of like hits the table twice. And from there, go ahead and take your roll, Maddie. So, however
I'm
you
gonna
want
roll it
to.
on the floor.
You can roll the die on the floor?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you kind of wind back, and how hard do you what do you do?
Say it again?
How hard do you are you rolling these die? Like, are you just like tossing them, or do you?
Oh yeah, just like off to the side.
Okay, so you just kind of like toss them off to the side. They roll off and tumble kind of in between your guys' legs, and then before you even have a chance to kind of like peer down and see what it landed on, she flips over the table, launching like not even just like some of the gold pieces, but a lot of it was kind of like on the table. So drinks go flying everywhere. Everything is kind of a jumbled mess. It's hard to even find your die anymore. But from there, she basically swipes her shit and starts sprinting as fucking fast as she can. She finds a back window and she grabs that sack that she had, and it's kind of like dragging or waving violently up and down as she's kind of like making her way towards the back window. And you see the fox kind of like hanging on for dear life, kind of like swinging up and down and just trying to cling on to it. And then as she's making her way through the window, she does actually reach it, and this kind of commotion.
Can I try to intercept her?
You can try, but with disadvantage because you're surprised.
Okay, so what would that be?
So just roll a d20 with disadvantage, but I think that would be dexterity, maybe? What would that be? I guess I think it would be dexterity.
I don't know how to do it. Nope, not that one. I need disadvantage.
You just click and drag down. You can also use your character sheet, or if you have real die.
Click and drag down where?
So click on like the d20, and then as you're doing it, click and drag it down. Like hold down the mouse click. Like this. See? Like go to the d20 in alchemy and just hold it down and click and drag it downwards, and then let go of it.
Okay.
And then I guess
Okay. I got it.
Add your dex bonus.
It's 14.
Okay, so that is not quite enough to get a good grasp on her. You kind of like reach out and towards her back. It's a little bit out of reach. Your fingers kind of like, the tips of your fingers kind of like start to curl around, but then as that happens, the fox pops its head out and kind of bites your fingers. And then from there, that kind of like makes you release, and she's able to like slip through the window. So let me see here. That brings us to our next scene. Okay. Okay, so that brings us to essentially kind of the next scene. So she starts to make her way and hops out of the window. She starts sprinting towards the woods, and you're starting to lose her in the commotion of it all, and through the mist of the woods and the fog of the woods that are clouding around, it's getting a little bit harder to see which direction she's going through. What do you do? What do both of you do?
Oh, am I charging her as well?
Whatever you
Well,
want to do. If
no,
you want to
I
stay
mean, I
inside,
don't
you
think
can.
so.
You can follow her. You can stay inside.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
I'm gonna continue pursuit.
Okay, so you're going to continue pursuit. So let's pause you there and just catch up
Okay.
Tyr and Alaris. So Alaris, basically, he was on looking in from a distance as well, but as he's kind of making sense of whatever the fuck just happened, he's also kind of like looking through his belongings, and he's feeling that he's missing something, and he realized also it's kind of dawning on him that the fox did in fact scurry around him as well and brush up against him, and he's starting to piece together, and he's starting to realize that he's been robbed. So Tyr, you've been in the crowd, and you also notice in the commotion of it, you start to look around you and notice that something that of yours is also missing. So from there, you kind of you start to look through your stuff, and you kind of clutch at your chest around your neck, and you realize that the necklace that you have with I think it's a prism is missing. And then Alaris also, while that's happening, he's kind of like digging through his bag. He's trying to find something, and he realizes that a scroll of his has gone missing. So at that point, he starts to also pursue, and he kind of like hops through through the front door, and instead of like cramming himself through the window. Tyr, what do you do while this is going on?
So right when I touch my chest, like hoping that I have my necklace, and I realize it's gone, I look down at the rest of my beer, chug it, see if I can swipe a couple coins off the ground that she flung from the table, put
Okay.
them in my pocket, and then immediately book it out the door, following this druid.
Okay. She's not a druid. She's not a druid. She's not a bloody druid. You don't know what she is.
Oh, okay.
She
This
may be.
other
You don't know.
person.
You don't know. It's these. It's. You know what it is? All the green clothes.
I was about to say it looks
Man,
like
it
a
looks
druid.
like a lot of
Looks
Yeah.
like a druid.
characters.
Yeah. All right. So with that, that basically brings us to tactical view. So if you guys can click on tactical mode in the top right, let me know if you can see this properly.
Yeah,
need
I
to
just see like what?
Yeah, I need to re-add hour tokens, Maddie. I'm gonna have to do that like at least a couple more times.
Good.
Give me a sec here.
It's gonna be a pain in the ass process.
It's okay. Okay, so Maddie, I guess, would be up ahead of us. Alaris is kind of like coming through here. Whatever it is. So you make your way outside through the front door, and you do catch a glimpse of her, making her way all the way towards kind of like the back, like exit / entrance, basically trying to find her way through the thicket, and through the thick of the woods, and pass through the mist and the fog. So you can you barely make it out, but you can kind of see the shadowy figure through the foliage and through the fog in the distance. Do you do anything at that point after you see her and where she's at?
If I caught wherever I saw that little clip of her charge into the distance, I start going until I can actually like make out who it is and like what direction she's going. So I'd probably about like maybe here.
Okay.
And I'm thinking to myself, maybe I should just strike her, see if I can maybe hit her with a spell or something.
Okay. As she sees you starting to make your way towards her, and she sees all three of you in the party starting to like look for her, and she notices that you've kind of spotted her and what direction she's in. She then basically kind of lets out a very sharp. She kind of like puts her fingers between her teeth and lets out a very sharp cutting whistle that basically slices through the dead night air. And in that moment, the grass and the trees around in the foliage start rustling. And then basically a set of wolves starts to appear from out of the mist. You should be able to see it now. There you go. Oh, please stop. Oh, it's that easy. Okay, cool. All right. So from there, she looks onwards and she can kind of see that her wolf friends, and she's basically using Dominate Beast to get them to attack you and defend her as she makes her getaway. So she actually does slip out into the distance, and you do lose sight of her. And so from there, now you have basically these wolves surrounding you. And so with that, go ahead and roll initiative.
All right. Where's initiative again?
I think it's just a 20.
Oh, just a 20. All right.
And again, like, easy thing to do, guys, is like if you have your character sheets from D&D Beyond up, you can even just click and roll right there because everything is more clearly labeled anyway. So I would imagine there's just like an initiative button.
There is an initiative
There is.
button. Pretty sure there is.
In D&D Beyond there is. Or the 13.
Yeah, and then it's like there's like a +2 modifier for you for a tier.
+2
Yeah,
modifier, then I rolled an
mine's
11.
3. Yeah, mine's a 13.
Okay.
Wait, yours is 3. That would be a 14. You rolled an 11.
Yeah.
Hold
Yeah,
up.
that's what I said.
All right, so sorry, start over. What are you at, Steve?
So if I have a +2 modifier, then I'm at 11.
Okay. And then
13.
Maddie.
13.
Okay. 1 second. All right, and then for Alaris, let me do his. That's a fucking nat 20. Okay.
Wow. Hell yeah.
First nat 20 of the game, boys. All right. So let me put that in. Oh shit! It's automatic. Okay. Okay. So that's actually really cool. If you, that's weird. Okay, so if you guys roll initiative in your character sheets, the encounter, like combat tracker thing that I'm using also in D&D Beyond will automatically, it looks like it automatically gets updated. So that's fucking cool.
Oh, that is pretty cool.
And how do I roll initiative for the fucking wolves? Is that a thing?
Yeah, everybody rolls initiative.
Okay, let me just do that for them manually. They rolled a 14. Alright, and then we start it. Okay, so Alaris goes first. So this is where you guys might have to bear with me as I learn how to fucking manage combat.
It's all good, man.
So he'll kind of use
lot.
his turn for Shillelagh, and he'll cast that. So that's not a great roll, but that's a 7. So that'll basically switch it so that he can make arm strikes while using his wisdom as like the damage roll instead of strength.
All
right. Okay. And then from there he'll kind of, I guess, move up towards the wolf, and I believe he can make us. Actually, yeah, no, he can do. I have a cantrip, so let me try that. I'll use poison spray. Okay, so that's poison damage of. Okay, so the way it works is I just rolled a 17 plus a 6, so it was 22 to beat the wolves' AC, which it does, or at least it fucking should. I can check real quick. And then if it lands, then it's a 6 of damage. Let me see. Yeah, it's he has an AC of 13, so I'll do 6 damage. So now this wolf here has an HP of 5. Okay. Okay. And then Alaris will end his turn. And then it is the wolves' turns after that.
Yeah, I got a quick question.
Yeah, go for it.
In the upper right-hand corner, do you see something that says in like an encounter tab?
Of what? Of alchemy or where?
Yeah, no, in alchemy.
In the upper right? I don't think so.
Or is there a tab up like towards the top?
Just
says...
party and NPCs. Those are the only 2 tabs I have in the top. Why do you?
No, I was looking up something how to roll initiative. So.
Okay. Oh, well, I mean, yeah, I think... Yeah, so I think that is a thing in alchemy, where you can even turn it to just be automatic. I'm trying to see, though. I remember seeing it in the past. Yeah, okay, there's a toggle. If I do this...
Yeah, and it should auto do the initiative order.
Okay, what if I manage it
for
through
everybody
here,
in this league?
Okay, so... Yeah, I'm just using, like, D&D Beyond's thing off to the side. But we can try doing it in alchemy as well.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking hell.
I mean, that's fine. I mean, I can roll in D&D Beyond, that's fine. It's just...
Okay, so that's Wolf 2. Alright, so let's just say Wolf 2, so that's the one with lower HP. Uses Bite. How do I fucking roll for that?
Roll for what?
For the wolf, basically, I want him to use Bite against Alaris since he's the closest.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks like I have to do it manually, I guess.
So it would be a...
Oh, I can do it. Hold on, I can do it in D&D Beyond.
Like a D20 plus something. Yeah.
Hold on, yeah. Okay, yeah, it's literally it's as easy as one button. Fucking great. Okay. So that's a piercing damage of 9 to Alaris. Okay, yeah, I think this is actually easier than it seemed. So that means I just have to go to Alaris's HP and reduce it by 9. Fuck yeah. Okay. And then let's see who's next then.
Should be Senna or the other wolf.
Yeah, I'm doing it through. I'm just gonna fucking. It seems like the easiest thing to do is manage combat with D&D Beyond's tracker, so I'm just doing that initiative. So it's the wolf. It's the other wolf next. So let's just say he moves up to Senna, and same deal. He uses Bite on Senna. So it was a 15 to hit. So is that a hit, Maddie? What's your AC?
16 doesn't hit.
Okay, so he kind of like swipes at you and grazes past you, but you manage to kind of like pull your arm back and evade it. Alright, so from there, we'll move on to Senna. It's now your turn. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna look at the wolf that's straight in front of me and just whack it in the face.
Okay, is that like an unarmed attack, or what is that?
Well, with the axe. Sorry.
Okay, so is that...
So I'm gonna hit the wolf with my axe.
Okay, help me out here. What
so
is
I'm
that?
rolling to hit.
Yo, help me out, boys. Trying to figure this out as I go, but your guys' input is helpful.
Well, what are you trying to
So
figure
what,
out?
like, what should you roll? What is the actual attack? What's the name of the attack you're doing? And
It's
what should you roll?
it's gonna be a melee attack. So fucking goddamn.
I'm trying to see. Maybe I have to do that in your character
I
sheet to get a
rolled
better sense.
rolled a fucking fat ass one.
Okay, so with your
Damn.
hand axe, that's a melee. That's an okay. I got it. So you fucking, you fucking, as you're swiping back
myself.
to evade the attack, you then wind up and slash straight down, and it kind of like lands directly beneath your feet, almost like slicing through your toes, but not quite. It just kind of like grazes by between your feet. But now your axe is kind of like stuck in the fucking ground. So you're kind of like struggling to get it out at the moment.
Okay.
All right. So I think that brings us now to Tyr.
All right. What's the health of each wolf?
So if you click on it, you should be able to see it now.
No, it's not working for me.
If you hit view.
Yeah, if I hit view, it just goes to their page. Its character description has not been revealed by the game master, and that's it.
That's odd. Okay, well, the one in front of Alaris. Okay, let's see. Okay, the one in front of Alaris is currently at 5 HP. And the one at Maddie is at 11 HP.
Okay. Then I'll cast Eldritch Blast at the one near Lars.
Okay, so go ahead and
So
roll that.
I did. I got a 17 off of a D20, and my 1D10 did 9 damage, so that wolf is dead.
Okay, okay. So then from there, we can, I guess, just remove it from the board. All right, so there's one left. So does that end your turn?
Let's see. How much does Wolf 1 have again?
11.
11? Yeah, that one, my turn.
So that brings us back to Alaris. He's kind of feeling a little bit in a rough shape at like 8 HP. So let me see if I can have like a melee fucking or like a ranged attack or some shit. All right, so the range is 30 feet, so that should, yeah, that's like 6 cubes, so that's fine. I don't have to get too much closer. Okay, so let me roll that again then. Or how does it work? So that's a cantrip, right? Yeah,
That's a cantrip.
so
Yeah.
cantrips I can use any number of times.
You can use any number of times, but only once per turn.
Yeah, fair. Okay. So I will use poison spray again. Let's see what I roll. Okay, so that's an 8 to hit. Fucking hell. So that's a miss. Okay, so it kind of like whizzes right over and kind of like disperses through the mist and just kind of goes high above the wolf's head. So from there, I guess that'll end his turn. Now it's the wolf's turn, and he'll go ahead and he'll use Bite one more time on Senna. And that is an 8 to hit, so I guess that's another miss.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so that'll end his turn. And Senna, back to you.
Alright, I'm just gonna wait, my axe is in the ground, isn't it? I'm gonna take my, so if I take the axe out of the ground, is that gonna be an action, or?
No, it's okay, it's okay. By now, you've pulled it out by now, it's okay.
Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna take my axe and then I'll whack him again.
Okay.
Did you roll a 1 again?
Yes.
Roll battle axe plus 2. Are you serious?
Rolled a 1. Yeah.
How
Holy
is
crap.
that possible? Okay. So yet again, you fucking missed. Wow, this is some very thick fog, my guys.
She's blind as shit,
And
dude.
you're kind of like swiping through in frustration, and the wolf is just kind of like watching the axe like go
Above
and
his
swipe
head.
above his head. Like he got a little bit of a trim, so he's like kind of cool with it. But that's about it. So,
Free haircut.
yeah, exactly. And back to tier, I guess.
I'll cast Soldier's Blast again on that wolf.
Okay, go ahead.
So I did 6 damage. Yeah, my attack, I rolled a 14, which is plus 3 on that, which is 17. So I'm guessing that's a hit.
What was your d20? What was your attack to hit?
My d20 was a 14, but I had a plus 3 on it.
Yeah, that's
so
a
it's
hit.
17.
Yeah, his
So I
AC
did
is
6
13,
damage.
so you got it.
Okay. Yeah. So I did 6 damage.
Nice. Okay, so now that wolf is at 5 HP. I don't know if there's anything else you can do. Can you?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, hold on. Let me check and see if this is a bonus action or an actual action.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an action. Okay.
Okay. So then that'll
So
just end your turn, I guess.
yeah.
Back to Alaris, and guess what he's gonna do, boys?
Poison
Yet another
spray?
poison spray. It's not a very versatile kit this early on in the game.
Doesn't seem like it.
No, it's not. Okay. Okay. Roll the 16, so that is a hit, but the damage is 3, so that's only gonna do 3 damage to that wolf. So that'll bring him. Well, he's at 5 actually now, right? So technically,
Yeah.
he's at, yeah. So now he's. There we go. So now he's basically one tapped. He's at 2 HP. So now we're back to Senna. Please, Maddie, let's see if you can hit it.
Okay, that's not bad. 26.
26 to hit?
Yep.
And then what's the damage?
Fuck, I can't read that.
16 plus
fucking
2?
tell me. No, hang on.
Watch it be a 1.
Because I see, by the way, when you guys roll, real quick, when you guys roll in your character sheet in D&D Beyond, I see a little notification while I'm in the combat tracker, which is a different view.
That's really cool.
What?
Yeah. So
What
I just
number
saw
was
16.
that?
I just saw a 16 plus 2 for you. But I don't know if that's the attack, because I thought the attack would be like a D6 or some shit.
Hang on. No, hang on. Oh, where's the fucking log? Where the fuck is this log at? There it is. Oh, my damage is 16.
Damage? What is your attack die?
It's a D10 plus 6.
You have a plus 6. Wait, I saw plus 2. What is your shit, Maddie? Let me see this. Hand axe is you use your hit die plus 6. Damage is 1d6 plus 4. So
No,
1d6 plus 4, that's what it says in... I'm looking at your character sheet. It says 1d6 plus 4 for damage.
So mine, dude. Look at this. Hold on.
Here, this is the screenshot I'm looking at. For your hand axe, I'm seeing roll your hit die plus 6, and then 1d6 plus 4 for your damage.
What the fuck is going on?
Is mine not updated, or what?
Mm.
I'm gonna refresh. Okay, now I'm seeing battle axe plus 2 melee weapon. So hit die is plus 8. Okay, so it looks different for me now. I just refreshed the sheet. So I'm seeing 1d8 plus 6. And then I'm seeing underneath that 1d10 plus 6. So is this like your dual wielding? Is that what this is?
No, I'm not for sure which one's which. Hold on.
Actually,
Let me go in here.
because it says battle axe plus 2. Does that mean you're dual wielding?
No. It's like her. It's like It's like
Okay, doesn't matter.
called. Yeah.
Okay,
My
so
brain
what,
don't
what,
work.
what was your roll then? Fuck it, what was your roll?
Here, I'll just do this one. Let's do 11 then. So I'm not for sure. I'll have to look into them. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And that was the 11.
An 11 to hit?
No damage.
What was the hit?
18.
Okay. So I have a very important question to ask you, Maddie. How do you want to do this?
Well, she's just. It's gonna be very very basic, but she's gonna go and take it. She's gonna aim right for the fucking neck and chop his fucking head off.
Alright, so you fucking wind up that battle axe, and then using all your pen up aggression of 2 misses in a row, and the gallons and gallons of fucking ale, you kind of like swing back and cleave straight through, and the head kind of goes just fucking like you kind of see it tumbling into the distance, making kind of like a path through the mist and through the fog, and then you hear it kind of like land somewhere in the distance up against a like a branch of a tree and rustling of leaves as you do it, and then the body kind of like peels over as the blood kind of pools around it and around your feet. All right, so that is 2 wolves down. What do you guys do now?
Turn around to the direction that the woman took off in and see if I can find any tracks.
Okay. Senna, do you want to do anything differently? Also, you guys can take a chance to fucking talk to each other since you just fought together and like, you know.
Yeah,
Eh,
I was actually about to do that.
I'm more Tyr's more thinking about the prism that he just lost, the necklace.
Okay, fair enough.
All right,
Senna.
so after chopping off this wolf's head, she's like heavily, like heavily breathing, and she's just gonna like yell in Alaris's and Tyr's general direction, and she's gonna say, "This bitch made me spill my beer. Get her!" And then
Wait.
walk kind of where she kind of went.
Okay. Alaris is kind of like weirded out by the both of you. And he says, wait. For God's sake, don't do that. Don't do that. Come back. And he kind of like reaches out towards both of you, especially Tyr, kind of like calling out to you to come back. You do not want to go through these woods alone, especially not in the middle of the night. You guys, I can tell, are not from around here, but this is my home, and you do not want to go through these woods in the middle of the night. If anything, we should wait for daybreak. She's long gone by now anyway. These woods are not exactly your typical forest, so I think we should wait till daybreak, rest, restore, and replenish, and even look inside for clues for anything that she may have left a trace or anything that would tie her identity back to her, back inside of the inn.
So I hear what Ilaris is saying, but I'm still pretty focused on trying to see if I find any tracks. Can I roll to see if I find anything?
Yeah, of course. So I guess that would be perception into investigation, maybe. The fog is like really heavy, and so it'll be very difficult for you to kind of like naturally perceive anything. So if you want, like in terms of your passive perception, but if you want to do like a perception check and try, then I can kind of like help you out there.
Sure. Perception. There you are. 5. Yeah.
Okay. So you try your best to kind of like look around your feet and kind of like swiping through the fog, but as the hour grows later and later, the fog is just getting denser and denser and creeping its way and slipping its way through the tree line and through the forest into kind of like that main courtyard of the inn's entrance, kind of like surrounding the three of you, making it almost impossible, let alone to see like potential tracks, but even to like find where to place your next step. It's really kind of closing in around you, and it's starting to kind of like make almost like it's claustrophobic, and kind of like pushing you guys a little bit back towards the entrance of the inn. And as you're kind of doing that, the innkeeper bursts through the front door. He was kind of like watching in through the window, and he sees that the wolves have been slain. So he's calling you guys to come back inside. Free beer for our new champions. um, just kind of like getting you guys to come back in. What do you do, Senna?
She's gonna put her hands up in the air like a small fucking child and say yay and just starts fucking beelining it to him.
Okay, nice. So you kind of like start sprinting your way through, and like the, as you do that, like the weight of each sequential step kind of like up the staircase and through the doorway, even your hands kind of like bang through. You're a little bit too big for the doorway, and your excitement, your kind of fist kind of like tore through the frame of the door, and the innkeeper just kind of like pushed up against the wall as you kind of like slip through him. And he goes, "There's plenty to go around. Don't worry. You know your way to the bar." And you kind of like make a beeline directly for your favorite spot in the inn. And then, Tyr, what do you do?
Tyr finally gets up after he realizes like there's no possible way with all of this fog that he could see anything. Kind of looks off into the dark forest, if he can see anything at all. But then it's just like he's probably right. Just wait until
Okay.
morning. So it turns around and then starts heading towards the door, just calmly walking. Not he heard the commotion behind him, but he was like, I'm not that much energy right now.
All right, so you kind of resign yourself to your fate and start walking a lot with a lot more maturity back through
Yeah, just like
the doorway, back through the doorway, and you kind of like collect yourself and kind of roll your eyes at this half-orc barbarian that just went screaming through. Um, and then as you do so, Alaris kind of like follows your lead and starts making his way through the front door as well. So that'll bring you guys back into the inn. So you guys might have to fix your tokens. Maybe Maddie's already drinking or he's coming in. So as you make your way back into the inn main floor, you kind of see a little bit more of a, not a commotion, but the crowd is kind of dialed down or died down, but there's still a couple people rummaging through what's left of the crime scene and kind of fixing the table. There were two guards, if you remember, kind of chilling before, so now they've kind of felt obligated to kind of like look around the crime scene and try and upright the tossed over table and fix the drinks, and the innkeeper or the barkeeper is kind of like mopping up the drinks as well. So from there, what do you do, Tyr?
I kind of take in what exactly is happening. So you said there were two guards who were kind of like helping clean up, and so what is everyone else, like all the patrons? What are they doing?
They've kind of they've settled down. There might be like a couple that are a little bit still interested in crowding around and talking to the guards to find out what the hell just happened or what they know. And then from there, everybody else is kind of just like chilled down. The crowd is really thinned out as the night kind of grew late. Some went back up to their rooms to sleep it off, and then others are just kind of like chilling, talking a little bit more quietly amongst themselves at their tables or at their chairs. And then from there, it's kind of just like lulled a little bit more.
Okay, so I take a couple steps over over here, like towards the bar, like right about there. But I'm looking at the uh, are we calling it a crime scene now?
Whatever you want.
All right. Well, I'm looking at where everything happened to see if there's anything that I can physically see that could help us, or help me really help me know where she is or where she's going or who she is. Maybe something was left behind.
Okay. So is that where your token is, or you're back towards where
I'm
she
heading
was?
like, no, I'm about right here. I'm about to go back to the bar, but I'm kind of looking around to see if there's something on the floor, maybe something on the table now that they've turned it back over.
Okay.
Like,
And just so you know, this is where it was.
yeah, that's what I figured. Yeah,
Okay. Okay. So with that, it's a little bit further away and out of sight, but you can see them kind of like turning the table upright and kind of like sifting through the mess that was on the floor. Um, Someone actually picks up Senna's die, and you can tell and you can remember just from watching the game that it's hers. And so from there, I don't know if you want to make your way there or what you want to do after seeing a little bit more.
yeah. So I'm going to go to the bartender, grab another beer. So I'll go up to the bartender and say, "Hey, can I get one more beer?"
Yes, this one, and he kind of like looks up at Senna, is nearly bleeding us dry. So get him while you can. And he says, I think it was, how much was it? 4 copper.
4 copper, yeah.
All right,
So
four
I
more
take
copper for a mug of ale.
so I take some of the stolen 4 copper I swiped off the ground before in my pocket,
Okay, that's
and
free beer.
yeah, exactly. So I handed it right to him, said, "Thanks, my man," and I start walking towards the one of the guards.
I
Okay.
chime in.
Yeah, yeah. At any point while anyone's
Okay,
interacting, like
I feel
talk.
rude interrupting you.
No.
Hmm.
Talk, especially if it's in character, like, because I don't think I'll naturally leave a little pause. But if you want to say some shit, Asena, or do some shit, fucking
Okay.
absolutely. Because I want you guys to
Okay.
talk in character or
Hmm.
to
Okay.
each other.
I
So
got you. I got you. All right. So she's so as it's a tear like a teardrop. Is that how
yeah,
you say
Yeah,
it?
tear,
Okay.
teardrop.
Okay. Okay. So as Tear's handing him the copper, Senna's as she's drinking off the corner of her eye, she's gonna see that he's handing money over. So she's as she's fucking chugging with one hand, she whacks the copper out of the hand. She takes the mug down and she looks straight at the bartender and she's gonna scream, "No, free, outside!"
Oh,
And
uh,
what?
no. Ignore that last part. But yeah, say no free. He said, yeah,
Okay. So you slap the copper out of my hand.
yeah, and it goes like over the floor or whatever.
Okay. So I pick up whatever copper I can, and I said, "Actually, she's right."
and he kind of looks over at the innkeeper for approval. Did you say free drinks, sir? Guys, and he kind of gives him a knowing nod and says, these two were involved in quite the battle. So too with the elf in the corner there. Whatever they want for the rest of the night, make sure they're happy and quenched and satisfied. Um, so from there, you guys are basically able to get your drinks for free. The money's still on the ground. People are still cleaning up what is left of a crime scene. As that's happening, Alaris is not really interested too much in the drink. So he starts walking over towards the crime scene to kind of investigate and take a look around. What do you guys do or say?
Oh, I after I grab my beer, I do exactly what I did before. I start heading over to the crime scene to see what else I can find, if anything.
Okay.
So Senna is gonna go and grab like a I forgot what the fucking called, like a stein, like a bit, like a big stein.
Okay.
Okay.
Like a
And then
tankard or yeah.
yeah, whatever the fuck the name is. So, she's gonna ask for the bartender to get a stein, and then so as she's like literally fucking double fisting, um, she's gonna um kind of clock where Tyr went, and then get up and then walk next to Alaris, take the stein and shove it in his chest, and
Okay.
then she's gonna say Hey, so it no no no. Um she's gonna go and say, hey, it looks like you need this. And then pitches him in the chest.
All right. Okay, so now I guess you're back over here then.
My view didn't change.
But you
I'm
gave me a
still
beer
outside.
from. What do you mean?
Oh, she's still outside.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. So I need to
Yeah.
remember to tell you guys. Go to tactical mode.
I
Oh,
am
I'm in
tactical
tactical mode.
mode.
Yeah, yeah.
What? But I switched the
No, no, it
maps.
changed for me. It didn't change for her. Like I'm in the tavern, or in the, you know.
I'm
That's
not.
weird.
All right, you want to figure that out real quick? I need to go pee.
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
What is this? Maddie, are you currently? Hmm.
I could show you my screen.
No, I mean I believe you. I'm just
I know. I'm just showing
on
you.
your
I
because
want you to see what I see.
So it's weird because now I do see an encounter. Maybe I have to turn this off. Did your view change now?
No.
Okay, let me try going back to map number 1. And I'm just going to remove everybody's tokens. So, yeah, so this should be okay now. What about now?
Nope.
Fucking what? Why would it work for Steve and not you?
I returned.
Let me try switching.
Oh,
Okay.
that
Did it?
changed.
Okay, yeah, so I
Now I'm looking at the
rewinded.
chick.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I
I'm looking at
basically
the chick right
rewinded to a previous scene to see if this resets it.
now. Oh, okay.
All right.
So weird.
Okay, so
Now I'm back
now,
outside.
cool, but not tactical view.
No.
So let's do this. Are you guys inside now?
Nope, I'm outside.
Try
In
clicking.
tactical view, yes.
Try clicking on tactical view, Maddie.
It's a fucking grid.
It's an empty grid.
Yes.
Fucking what? Um, Steve, did your view just change to outside grid?
Yeah.
Okay, Maddie, I think your shit is just fucked up. Try leaving and rejoining.
All right.
Yeah, sorry. Try closing out of alchemy. Yeah.
Yep. Nope, outside again.
Well, yeah, that's okay because I'm outside too.
Okay.
Now try changing it one more time. See if did it switch over now, Maddie?
Oh yeah, now I see the tavern.
You're inside.
Yep.
Okay. Quick
Like
question.
if I click tactical view, I should see it inside the tavern, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay. Yep. I see
I'm
it now.
adding your guys' tokens back right now. Quick
Okay.
question, Maddie. Are you playing in browser or within the app?
In the app.
Okay, maybe it's just being weird. I guess I don't know.
Mm.
Right. That's sorted at least. Okay, so we were
Yep.
here.
There we go.
Okay, so Maddie, where we left off, basically you were like, you look like you need a drink, so that means you walked up. You're about here.
Yep.
Okay, sweet. So I basically accept the fact that now I'm drinking, and say I hear they're free. So I kind of take a tentative sip. I take a sniff of it. Alaris takes a sniff of it first. Kind of looks in to see if there's any weirdness going on, and then looks over his shoulder to see you just merrily chugging away, and just fucking decides, fuck it, I'll throw one back. So he starts sipping on his mug as well.
And then when he
As
starts sipping, I'm
Yeah.
gonna take my finger on the bottom of it and lift it up so more goes in his mouth.
You're a mean drunk, he says, as he fucking like almost chokes on it and kind of like spills it up. Never again will I drink. He fucking puts it down on the table. And so he kind of like brushes that off and says, now did she take anything from either of you two?
Yes. She took my necklace. And I want it back.
And then Cinna's gonna be like and then she's like thinking, and then she's gonna say, uh, she didn't take anything from me, but I don't know where my dice went when I was rolling before she dip dive and dodged out of here.
Okay, as you're saying that, one of the guardsmen is like looking at the paradise that he picked up earlier and says, "Ma'am, are these yours by chance?" And he kind of like sticks them out to you, and they are in fact yours.
Okay, so I'm gonna go up. I'm gonna say thank you, and then take them
All right, and
and put
then
them back in the
as
waistband.
okay, and then as he hands them back to you, he kind of like jolts his hand backwards, in kind of like fear that you were about to like attack him again. Your very presence in this inn is a terror on the clientele, Maddie. They really don't get orcs around here, and these guards are from the kingdom and the capital of Valoria. So they even more so are weary of orcs because again they come from a place where essentially they've been raided by orcs. They don't really see very many of them, and so they have a very negative association of them. Um, so he kind of like reels back and slowly starts making his way back towards his partner, just kind of chatting with him. Um, After that happens, and by the way, Maddie, she did steal your necklace. Yeah, okay, just so you know. um, so he did. Okay, so after that happens, Alaris kind of chases up with what Tyr had said. Um, Wait, so she just stole your necklace? What kind of necklace was it?
Which is she asking me that or?
I'm asking you.
No,
I'm asking Tyr.
it's
Alaris is asking Tyr that.
here.
Oh, okay, okay. It's not important what it was. It just had a prism on it.
Oh, okay. Well, it might be important because if she stole it, she might have taken it for a reason. I'm thinking, if we compare what we all lost, there might be a reason for what she's doing,
Well,
or was this
what did
just
the
random
orc?
thievery?
What did the orc lose?
Then both of us kind of like look at Senna.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and then she's gonna go. I'm not sure. And then she's gonna like take her hand because she knows she took Tyr's necklace. She's gonna take her hand and kind of go like this to check, and if her necklace is there, which,
Okay.
as you said, is not there.
Okay.
Um, and then she's gonna say, um, soon as she notices that the necklace is gone, she's gonna swipe a couple more times to realize it, look down, and then Senna's gonna say, that bumbling bitch, and then
And
and then
Lars goes, bumbling indeed, and he's like just shocked at how you're fucking holding your own weight, with how drunk you're getting.
Tyr just
and
starts
then
chuckling. Just
and then she like stumbles forwards and then try to like acquaints herself to go back frontwards.
Okay.
And then um I'm gonna say, well, it seems apparent that she stole my necklace as well.
Okay.
It was a small little battle axe with like a ruby in the center.
Well, she likes jewelry, clearly, or at least the fox likes shiny objects. I don't know how much this is helping. It's for whatever it's worth. I don't wear jewelry. I'm not the type. Sorry, Tyr, but I he's just insinuating that you're gay.
just yeah, just
um,
okay.
so
Just takes a sip of his beer, just waiting.
um, the the little rat did, however, steal one of my scrolls. Itself on its own, it's not very valuable, but I've been trying to find out what exactly it decodes. It's essentially a decoder, but I don't know quite what it goes to. It has a bit of a limerick on it, but I can't quite make sense of it or know where it should be used. So I'm starting to think that they're not quite related, and this is a scam that she just pulls from tavern to tavern, from inn to inn, and she just collects whatever keepsakes she can find to just sell in the local black market.
That sounds very possible. Maybe in the morning we go to the market and see if we can find something.
Well,
That a grunt in agreement.
okay. Um, so he goes, well, that's the tricky bit. I'm not overly acquainted with the city's criminal network, or with the local town's criminal network.
Well, maybe the innkeeper knows something. We can ask him where the market is or where it could possibly be.
He seems like an honest man. I really don't think that's worth the time.
But he allowed her in this place, so maybe he knows something.
That's a fair point. Um, what are your thoughts? And then Alaris kind of looks back up at Senna.
And she's just gonna go.
Indeed.
Unga.
So, unga de bunga. All right, so y'all start making your way towards the front of the front of the main entrance. That's kind of where I guess there's a little podium there and a little front desk for the innkeeper to welcome guests and offer them a place to stay and lodging for the night. And so you make your way and you start talking to him. Anyone want to take the lead?
Sure.
That's too fucked up. She can't talk.
You're the innkeeper, correct?
That's yes. I'm the guy that you're bleeding dry with all your drinking. Yes, that's the one.
Do you know who she was? Do you know who that woman was who stole her? Nods in agreement.
Say it again, Steve.
Do you know do you know who that woman was who was just here?
Well, we tend not to. We don't really card is the thing. We tend not to ask for much ID verification or ask too many questions for the people that come to our tavern. As a matter of policy, we don't really. We think it's a little bit gauche, really.
Stop using big words.
That's
Just
a
tell
small
me.
word.
You okay?
That's
It's
a
a complicated
monosyllabic word. Unlike that one.
Well done. Well done. Okay, she stole something off of me and the big girl over there. So we're really wondering if maybe
Hey, I'm here
you
too.
knew
I've
that-
also lost things.
No, you haven't. Not like
Says
us.
Alaris. Says Alaris.
I know.
Oh.
I'm looking back at Alaris and saying that.
I lost my scroll.
I lost my necklace. It means more to me than your scroll does to you.
It was like you don't know anything about. You don't. I'll take you on a tour of the scroll museum sometime. You should see what scrolls can do because
No, there's a scroll
it's
museum.
yes, it's called my library. For fuck's sake, what do you want from me? It's a very valuable scroll. I just don't know what it does just yet. That doesn't mean it's not valuable. These are my treasures, and he kind of motions to his bag. My treasures.
Tyr, my tools.
My
I need
tools.
my
I have to have my tools.
So Tyr just sighs, rolls his eyes, looks back at the innkeeper, and says, "Is there anywhere that she could have gone that she could sell it?"
Oh, well, there is the black market, but you don't want to go there, really.
No, I think I really do.
Well, here's the thing about the black market. It's a little bit out of the way. It's not exactly a hop, skip, and a jump at the next. Even just finding this inn is difficult enough for travelers. It's not exactly down the main road.
Well, could you at least tell me where it is so I could mark it on a map?
You're asking a lot of questions. I try not to divulge information on my clientele. She might come back one day. If you happen to be here, I might let you know. But for the most part, I value my clientele's privacy as I would yours.
As he starts talking, Tyr puts his hand on on one of his daggers on his wrist, on his hip, I mean.
Okay.
And stares at him and just like, really? Like you're going to tell me something.
Sir, I won't be intimidated by the likes of you. The riffraff that comes through these doors value their privacy, and their gold is as good as anyone else's. I mean, just look at yourselves. I took you all in, and gold is gold, money is money. I don't have any cause of alarm, with whoever comes in here. We've got 2 guards stationed here. They know what you look like. We have your information. Whatever little bit that we do have is your face and a couple of gold pieces for the night for lodging. Now, that's all forfeit, and you might even go to prison for even attempting to assault me in my own inn. This is a long-standing inn that is well known among the community, and I won't be threatened by the likes of you. So if you want, you can do an intimidation check or whatever you want to do, but...
So at that time, sorry, Steve.
Oh, go ahead.
So at that time, when I hear all this commotion and this asshat talking about shit, I'm gonna make, or Senna's gonna make her way over there for and intimidate him.
Okay, go ahead and roll an intimidation check.
Shit.
This is like the
yeah,
Hulk
right.
coming in, like in the Avengers.
It's like, we have a Hulk.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
It's like, I have
Get
2 guards.
fucked.
We have a Hulk.
Funny.
yeah, I'm a god. Say 1?
No,
No, dirty 20.
Oh, okay.
So nat 20. Or...
No. It's 16 plus the.
Oh, okay. I
right.
only saw 20.
The dirty 20, yeah.
I got it. Okay. All right. So with that, he takes... Well, he doesn't even have time to process, really, or take a good look at you. He's just kind of instantly thrown back at your very staggering presence and your very drunken, slovenly demeanor.
Where are you, by the way, Maddie?
I'm assuming
I'm gonna walk up, like, next to you. Like,
Yeah.
right
Okay.
next to you.
Yeah. If you want, move your tokens around, Maddie. But
Oh, shit. I didn't even fucking realize that.
You're
My
fine.
bad. I was like,
Okay,
you're
so
fine.
as Senna like basically pushes past Tyr, because I'm guessing like you're coming in pretty
Yeah,
hot,
yeah.
like staggering over, he just knocks me over. I take my hand off my dagger, just staring at her like, the fuck? Okay, and then go ahead, Maddie.
okay, and then I'm gonna eye over to the guards. What are the guards doing?
They're just they've kind of like grouped back up around the crime scene, are just taking a seat and talking over things. You can't really tell what they're saying. They seem relatively relaxed and kind of tired. Again, it's kind of getting late, and now they wanted to be off duty, and now again they're just having to be roped back into doing shit. So they kind of get a sense that you guys are convening around, but they don't quite think that anything's wrong just yet.
So do they seem more invested inside like the crime scene or whatever?
Yeah, they're
or
more
the
over. Let me try to ping. Yeah, they're more over here, just kind of chilling and talking to each other, and more focused on that.
Okay. Okay, then I'm just gonna turn back around and just like get all puffy and shit.
Okay. Wait, you're turning back around?
No, like turning towards fuckhead.
The
Yeah.
innkeeper? Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so at that point, the innkeeper, obviously, like, very unnerved, and he kind of, like, backs up a little bit, and he kind of, like, okay. There's no need for any of that. So I can tell you whatever I can tell you. So whatever we do know, those 2 guards over there might be able to tell you more. But essentially, they were able to recover this, and he kind of holds up a pin, and there's like a little symbol on it with a harp and a needle. And so you kind of look at it, and I don't know if you guys want to do an investigation on it or a history check or anything like that to try and see if you identify or understand what the fuck this pin is.
Can I do both?
You can do whatever you want, yeah.
All right, so I'll do both history and investigation on the pin.
Okay, so maybe it makes more sense to start with investigation, so feel free to do that.
Yeah. 20, baby, nat 20.
Holy shit. Okay, cool. Okay, so he kind of hands it over to you politely. It's kind of like diffused now that he's being cooperative. Y'all aren't at each other's throats. And you take it and you kind of take a look at it, and you kind of you're able to understand, okay, like what this pin refers to and what the actual shape is. So you can see that it's kind of like this metallic-y kind of chrome, finely crafted pin, and you can see this really finely detailed etching in it of a harp, like the musical instrument, with kind of a needle wrapping around the base. And from there, you're able to kind of associate what this pin is, like what this symbol kind of corresponds to. And you're able to tell that this is a pin that belongs to a semi-secret faction that has outposts kind of around Azoria, but no one quite knows where they're mainly based out of, or where they operate out of any given time. It's a semi-secret kind of organization of spies, druids, rangers, really just any class of people, or race of people that coalesce around nature and have those skill sets and come from that background and that walk of life, coming together, and really trying. They're You don't know too much about this organization or their goals, but you kind of are able to at least surmise what this pin corresponds to.
And the other role I had was a history, right?
Yeah, so I kind of looped them together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So just the takeaway from that, the pin is something of a order of like druids or people of nature, like a
Yep.
secret order that you don't
Like
know
a
exactly where they are.
semi-secret organization, correct?
Okay. I look back at the innkeeper and say, "Do you have any idea what this symbol is?"
Um, I couldn't quite tell you. No. Do you?
I look over at Alaris and say, "Do you have any idea?"
Um, and so he kind of so based on what you've just learned, or what Tira's just learned, do you communicate what you know to the group?
Yeah, I'll communicate to everyone what
Okay.
what I learned.
Okay. So I guess Alaris chimes in. Um, well, the only semi-secret organization I can think of would most likely be operating out of a semi-secret base. And the other semi-secret base I can think of is the one hidden in the mist. And he kind of like it gets deflated as this dawns upon him.
Mm-hmm.
That in order to track, and he basically explains, so in order to track down this this unknown faction member, they would basically need to follow it up and find their base of operations. And the only real place he can think of is there's long been legends of villages and secret paths hidden in the Whispering Woods forest and through the midst. It's just been long impossible to actually navigate through. And so once you can find it, then untold secrets are essentially yours. But they've managed to keep themselves secret and out of the way of predators and politics for a long time, just securing themselves off in this maze of whispering woods.
Hmm. Well, then maybe it'd be worth it to try and find it.
Then a grunt in agreement.
They do have my scroll. Very well. So with that, and if you want to do anything else at this point, do you want to do anything else
Uh,
at this point?
I pocket the what was it? It was a button
It was a
or
pin.
a
It was a
pin?
pin.
A
Yeah,
pin.
a metal
Pin.
pin.
P-I-N or P-E-N?
PIN.
PIN. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're a very legislative group. They like writing. That's
All right, so
opinion.
I pocket the pin and I look over at the innkeeper and I said, "Thank you so much for your hospitality." And then I turn around to walk away.
And then okay, so Alaris joins him up the stairs, heading towards the room. What do you do, Maddie or Senna?
Wait, we already got room?
Yeah, but you've already the scene basically this whole thing started with you guys are already staying at this inn tonight and you've already
Oh,
have lodging and you've paid for it.
gotcha. Um, Senna is gonna go back to the bar, take another fistful of beer, and take it up to her room.
And I just like the idea that you're like, and did you do room service? If I call you at 3 a.m., you're gonna give me this? You will bring this to me?
And then
I request one whole chicken in the morning.
Yeah. Leave it by my door, Seth, along with your
Turducken.
sluttiest wench. All right, so y'all start making your way up through the main room and up down or up the flight of stairs to your bedrooms. And as you do so, the fucking wreck of this night is left in your wake and in this criminal's wake, and the crime scene is still being kind of like mopped up by the barkeeper. He kind of like went back and forth, and so from there, the innkeeper is just like standing back. He's seeing by the bar the fucking like gallons and gallons of ale that have been siphoned through by this fucking orc tornado, and he's just looking at the mess before him, thinking he will never financially recover from it. And he kind of turns to his barkeeper and goes, "The things we do to maintain a reputation." It's like, I'll say you fucking let them bleed us dry. I swear I'm going back to the city.
There's
No,
no more.
All right, so as that happens, you guys head back to your rooms and you rest for the night. And then come daybreak, let's see here. Let me make sure I'm looking at the right thing. All right. Whew, okay. Good shit, guys. So come daybreak at last, you basically gather your belongings. You're nice and replenished and long rested. And from there, you decide to gather your belongings and meet outside at first light. So you got a nice juicy length of daylight for the journey ahead. Do you guys do or say anything at this point?
So we're all outside.
You're all
Of
like
the-
meeting by the doorway as the sun is beginning to rise this morning.
Okay. I look at Alaris and say, "What do you think our heading is?"
Well, I think the safest bet is to follow whatever tracks we can find now that the daylight and the mist is kind of dissipated, and see if we can pick up any scent or any trail from there. And then hopefully one clue will lead us to the next.
And then Senna's gonna kind of do like that weird, you know, like you go, I kind of go like this in the morning, like stretch your
Yeah.
back.
I
She's
like
gonna
that,
do
yeah.
that. She's gonna like crack her back, and then she's gonna say like she's gonna grunt and then say, "Man, do they serve breakfast here? I'm fucking starving."
It's like, did they not give you that chicken? Says Alaris.
No.
he looks over. Alaris looks over to the chicken coop that's outside, like an
This is starting to sound like the Hound from fucking Game of Thrones. Like, I'm gonna have to eat every single fucking chicken in here.
he looks over to the chicken coop that's off to the side or like it's its own little building off to the side outside, and you can tell that it's been like what looks like in a drunken ravaged attack. It has been looted and picked dry, and there is some scent of fried chicken lingering from that coop, along with like smoldering rubble and what looks like may have been an impromptu fire that somebody may have created to make some chicken. And there's also like some feathers around her mouth.
Oh, she already made a fried chicken and ate it.
Yeah, like through the night she drunkenly did this, is what I'm implying.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And she has no recollection.
That's so fucking a character for her to do.
It's like, and he just kind of looks up at her like, can't find any good chicken these days. All right. Well,
So,
yeah, go ahead.
no, go ahead, go ahead. No, I forgot what I was gonna say. God damn it, it was in my head and then it was gone.
Okay.
God damn it.
Is there anything else you guys would like to do or say before making your journey out from this inn?
I look at the innkeeper and ask, is there any way we can get some food for our journey ahead?
Food? You want food? He kind of
Yes.
I think you guys. And then the fucking bartender like comes scurrying up. You guys gotta get the fuck out of here. I mean, you have bled us dry. We have done enough hospitality for you. No, I'm done. He's like, the innkeeper is trying to calm him down. Like, we must maintain decorum. These are our valued clientele. Valued nothing. We've got no food, no chicken, and we're a whole bunch of hungry people. And all that we've done is service these freaks. And then he kind of like takes a quick step and gestures over to the three of you in a kind of a big sweeping motion, and says, my cousin was right. I should have never left the city. This place is a freak show filled with miscreants and degenerates, and I have no business. I could have been barkeeping in Valoria, mind you. I had offers. And then he's the innkeeper kind of like calms him down and starts to like scurry him back. Listen, why don't you restock the shelves? I will, for fuck's sake. Someone has to. Restock them with what? And he kind of like makes his way back into the inn, and the innkeeper goes, I'm terribly sorry for that. As you might have noticed, we're fresh out of fucking everything. So until we get our next shipment, and within the next week from the capital city, we'll just have to make do. So, and by the way, I'm just as a quick DM note, I'm never going to have to make you guys worry about you need to eat some shit. Like, I'm not going to make you guys do that. Yeah, don't worry about that shit. That is a guarantee. So I think there's plenty of wild boars out there for the likes of you to chow down on. So with that, he kind of like waves his hands of the three of you.
All right. Well, after that theatrical experience, let's go. Let's go start the walk.
Okay.
And then Senna's gonna like put her head down like she's sad. She's gonna walk over. We're in like the doorway, right?
Yes, like in the
Oh, okay. So she's gonna put her head down, and then she's gonna like walk kind of inside the tavern to find like a mug or something, and then she's gonna walk back over. She's gonna look at this dude straight in the fucking like the barkeeper straight in the eyes, and point to the glass and say, "Do you
Do you have any?"
No, do it. Just do it.
Close. Do you have any breakfast blends?
It's like, and also, did you forget my rule about the when empty fill up?
The Kennedy package.
It's like, wait, did you say that to the innkeeper? Who did you say that to? Or the bartender?
Bartender.
Okay, the bartender fucking just you know what, lady, and he just fucking like scurries down and crouches down from behind the bar, just chucking things over his shoulder, looking for something to give you. He pulls out a fucking he pulls out like some loose nuts from like the previous night, just that are scattered around the bar top, and he kind of like pulls them together inside like a little a mug basically, and he hands that to you. And then he pulls out like a rat trap that's next to the drainage system. He kind of pries that open. He fucking hands that to you. Would you like one for the road? And like he hands you a dead rat to munch on if you want one.
And then Senna's gonna say back to him, "Do you have a lid? This is to go."
He takes. Oh fuck! What does he do? Son of a bitch.
God, this is like a PSL. Like, just
What is
for
that?
real.
What is that?
Pumpkin spice latte.
Okay, and then he takes a coaster and he just fucking he takes the coaster off the fucking bar and he like crams it in the open hole of of the whatever it's called, the tankard, the mug, the whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
And it says that is foolproof. That is, go ahead and do your adventuring. That is 100 guarantee. You'll never spill a drop.
It's a
And,
magic coaster. It catches all the liquid.
It's enchanted.
and then
That would have been really fun. This is an enchanted coaster.
It's got magical properties. I know it doesn't look like much. He rubs off the fucking like peanut shells that are on
Yeah.
it.
Like,
and
this
then
is literally just a piece of wood.
and then just say thank you, and then just turn around and walk out.
It's- and then as you guys step forward, the fucking barkeeper just fucking throws his arms up in the air, and the innkeeper just fucking takes a seat and just puts his hand in his hands. Um, and then as that's happening, the day is promptly kicking off as you set out your journey. And that is where we will end this session.
Okay.
Let's go.
Very good.
Hell yeah. I gotta say, Dan, is your improv is very good
Oh, thank
Yeah.
you.
for the shit I put you through.
Very, very good.
No, thank you. Yeah, that was, I think, the biggest worry that I had. I'm like, I'm going to have to overwrite everything because I'm so nervous about not being able to think of shit. I think I fell in a good groove when I let you guys talk, though. Like, I fucking talk as much as you can, guys. And it'll be easier because I can just play off of you guys, I think.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind for next time.
For real.
I'll do it a little more.
Yeah, and definitely like chime in, talk shit to each other, talk shit to NPCs. If Tyr is talking to an NPC, Senna can chime in and interrupt and do shit. Like that's okay. Like if there's a funny, interesting character dynamic that adds to your personality and you guys getting to know each other, then like I want that really badly. So please do that.
Okay.
But yeah, that was interesting.
Very, very
So-
well done, Dan. Very well done.
Oh, thank you.
Especially for an
Applause.
opening, I was wondering how we were gonna all get kind of set off into motion, and the fox was a very, very smart idea. I'm kind of, going through my head of like where this could possibly go.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm intrigued. I'm very intrigued.
Yes.
Well done.
All right. I'm glad to hear it. I was like, honestly, you guys did some shit I was not expecting. And I don't just mean like some jokes here and there. Like, you definitely did some shit I was not expecting. Like, I had other shit in this inn for you to do that you did not do or look at or think about.
Yeah.
It's fine. I'll just reuse it in some other place. But I managed to. That was so fucking interesting because, like, I think it's not terribly impossible because as long as I have an outline in my head or written down where I'm like, okay, these are the main things that need to happen in this location. You guys can do whatever the fuck you want, and I'll just figure out a way to bring in the important shit wherever you choose to go. And I was really worried I wouldn't be able to do that, but it seemed to work out. So I feel better about that.
Good.
Yeah. So did you guys have fun? Do you have any impressions, thoughts?
I had a lot of
feedback?
fun. I'll let you
Yeah,
tell
that
I
was
had a
fun.
fucking smile on my face the whole time.
Fuck yeah.
It feels really good to be a player again
Yeah.
in D&D because DMing was very hard. So
Stressful.
having this be like I have to worry about my character and play my character now, that's just a really nice feeling.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet. I can imagine. But this is like weirdly, I think it's a good fit. I think there are going to be some stuff that I'm not great at, but I'll try and get better at. And yeah, looking for you guys' help and advice for that shit, obviously. I think combat took us a second. I think that might be like the biggest thing to figure out still. Like the technical side, I feel better about it. I feel like towards the end, I got a better sense of how it's going to go. But in order to keep it fun and moving and not
Honestly, I
drag
think the
out.
combat went fine. I like how they did like how you can actually use stuff in alchemy. It's
Hmm.
pretty easy. It's just a button click and then cast, and then it goes.
Yes. Um, I think it's fine if you guys want to use alchemy for your rolls. One thing, like I can show you basically what I'm looking at here. It'll probably make more sense. So the way I'm doing encounters basically on D&D Beyond, they have like it's in beta right now, so I guess they newly added it. They have like a combat tracker they call it. I'll post the screenshot here.
Yep. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. What did you just send me, Maddie?
Wait,
Or no,
that's
this is a long.
no, that's
This is
in
D&D
Beyond,
Beyond.
right?
Yes. So it's cool because like basically this lets you manually enter everybody's initiative and just go through and then you see like the little next button. So if you click next, it cycles to the next character's turn. And then if it's like the wolf, you can see on that side menu, like if you click on the wolf, then their shit pops up and you can roll directly from that little character sheet that they have there.
Oh, very cool.
Your guys' character sheets don't pop up nicely and conveniently, so I have to go to a different Google Chrome tab. But I might not even need to do that if you guys can just handle your own rolls. And then what's cool also is that like if one of you guys rolls using your D&D Beyond character sheet, this screen that I just screenshotted, it'll get a little notification on the screen saying like Senna just rolled a 15 or whatever the fuck, +3, whatever. And I think some of it is like integrated because I think if you guys use your D&D Beyond sheets to roll initiative, then this combat tracker is automatically updated with your guys' roll.
Oh, okay.
I think that's what happened. Yeah, so that's really fucking cool. So this should make it easier, just having these like prepared, and then yeah, I guess from there it's just a matter of like learning how to do combat, where it's like having the right level of difficulty and enemies and terrain and shit you can do and play with. So that'll probably take a bit, but it seems manageable.
I mean, we'll iron it out as we go, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Did you guys have any other like thoughts, feedback on anything at all?
Not at the moment, because I mean, alchemy is still kind of brand new to me, so I'm like literally as we're going, just kind of fidgeting with it, seeing like what is possible, what you can do, and all that
Okay.
stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
Same.
Well,
I don't really have anything specific.
do you have like feedback on just like the game shit too, where it's like how I was doing a certain thing as a DM, or even just notes for each other, like, hey, I would have wanted to do this or interact with you this way instead.
No, you did fucking
You
phenomenal.
did really
Like
well.
it was
Yeah.
very smooth.
Okay.
And not even like blowing like wind up your ass. Like I'm being genuine.
Okay, thank you. I think I was like shaky at first, but
A little bit,
we
but I
got
mean, you
into a
can
rhythm.
tell when you fell in your groove.
Yeah. I mean, this is your first time doing it, so it's understandable.
All right, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate it. Yeah, and like I said, just like a big part of what I wanted to do tonight was like it'll be kind of my thought was it'll be a shorter session and then we can just use it to like give each other notes and figure shit out as we go.
Mm-hmm.
But it's that stuff seemed to come together pretty quickly, and even though I thought it would be a short session, I ended it early. I had like a lot of other shit, guys.
Oh.
There was like 2 other parts. Like if what we just did was part 1, there were like there's at least like I don't know 1.5 to 2 other parts that I thought we were gonna get through really quickly, but we didn't. But I got really tired, so and I felt like that was a good place to pause it anyway.
No, that's fine.
So we got some
We can
extra
always-
content loaded up, I guess.
We can
already.
pick it up whenever too, so it's
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, so I got a question.
Yes.
Out of all of the shit that I did, was any of that anticipated?
What did you do? Like what? Like what?
Like
the drinking. I knew that was gonna happen.
yeah, that like I don't know if you could say anything on this, but like the whole dice thing. I know you probably
I didn't know if you would do it. I was hoping you would do it. I was hoping that you would, because I know you like money. So in my brain, I was like, how can I motivate Maddie to like really sit down? I'm like, what if she just like antes up everything, but all her fucking winnings? And so at that point, I was like, and I know that you had like your special weighted cheater die that you wanted to use, but I didn't know if you would remember to use it. So I was hoping that you would, and I was so happy when you said I take out my like. I was so happy that you did that. I was hoping you would. But if you didn't, it would have been fine. But so that was hoped for, not necessarily like planned for, but like what was interesting is like I did not. I had an idea of what the interactions would look like with all the NPCs. None of them fucking worked out the way I thought they would, I think. So most of what I was saying and doing as the NPCs was pretty much just like ad lib based on what you guys were saying and doing. So that was very much just like improvised based on what you guys wanted to do. But I had like other shit. Like I had like groups of different people in the fucking tavern or the inn with like set things that I wanted them to say. And I thought you guys were going to go talk to the guards. I thought you guys were going to go talk to the fucking gnomes in the back with like the treasure map that I was telling you about when I was like setting the scene. But no, you guys went straight to the fucking bar. So weirdly enough, I did not expect you to go straight to the bar and then pretty much nowhere else. But I'm glad you obviously, obviously the big part was getting to the gambling scene. So obviously I'm glad you guys did that. I wonder from you guys' perspective, how much metagaming were you doing? Like, oh, I think Dan wants us to do this. Like how much?
A little bit, but I not as much. I tried to stay in like
You could
how I imagine.
I could definitely tell right off the fucking rip when you were explaining it. The whole gambling thing was the like diamond thing that you wanted us
Yeah,
to go
I
through.
knew that's one reason I went over there because
I
I was
don't
just
know
like,
if it's the sheer
I
amount
don't
of
know, let's go see what
detail
this is.
you went into or
Uh-huh.
what.
Well,
But
Okay.
it's the
you
biggest thing in the bar. It's a
that
commotion.
too.
So
Yeah, that
Fair.
too.
That's fair, yeah. Well, I tried to make that like make sense narratively, I guess, too, where it's like, yeah, this shit's going down. And it also I tried to make it inciting, like, or enticing, where it's like, no, that is some shit Maddie and Steve would want to interact with. I just thought you would do the other shit first. Like, I thought you would go check out like the job board or whatever it is, or talk to the guards or talk to the gnomes. So I had shit prepared for them loosely, and then this was obviously like the main thing that I had like images of, like other encounters and shit that I didn't have images of, obviously, that I'm just like, I was just like, we're talking to each other. If you didn't see it on screen, I didn't fucking think that you guys would do it, basically.
yeah,
But hopefully you guys don't metagame too much, but I appreciate at least some of it where it's like, let's not throw too big of a wrench into shit right away. But definitely feel free to like explore and do other shit, even if you get the sense of like, okay, this seems like the main quest, but let's not do that right away. I want to go visit a shop first or whatever it is. Like that's fine to do. And even if I don't have a shop prepared, like do that. Do what the fuck you want.
it's kind of how I'm
Yeah.
looking at it at the moment.
Yeah. And by the way, if you guys like if you enter a new scene or a new place and you have an idea of something that you want to check out and do, and I didn't say that it's there, like I'll give you an example. Like let's say you're in a fight indoors and like there's torches on the walls or like there's a big chandelier and you want to shoot down the chandelier and have it drop and cause a fire to do fire damage to somebody, you can ask me like, and is this place lit by torches? Is there any lighting fixtures? Like you can ask me like to kind of lead me there, and I can just learn like, okay, what are you trying to do? Because then at that point, it's like even if I didn't tell you, hey, there's a chandelier, then if you have an idea of like, I want to use the environment, like tell me. Same thing with you're like exploring a new place, like, and are there any local shops? Like, and we'll kind of work together to build out what the new scene looks like, I guess. Like, ask me questions based on what you want to do, is my point.
Okay.
Yeah, we can improvise it together. But yeah, one of my biggest concerns was that like I would have a tough time getting you guys to talk to each other, because I think in our first attempt, that part was like slow going. I don't know if we were just like nervous or shy about it. But if also like the character stuff was tricky, where it's like Maddie was or Senna was a woman of few words, Ed was even less so, and even Alaris is like I think I tried, but I like was not able to talk to anybody in the party. It felt like
It kind of feels weird at the start.
it does, yeah. So, and even in this first session we just did, I was like, it feels like they're not talking. I want them to talk, and then I think gradually you guys did start to naturally talk to each other. So I think that worked out. So I was happy about that. And I was so happy. I was so excited when I saw you guys like ad-libbing and making jokes and miming what your characters are doing and coming up with weird, funny shit for your characters to say and do. Because I'm like, okay, now I know what these characters are, and like you guys are into it too. I was so happy about that
I
because that
was
was like one of my
crying.
big concerns. No, you guys did so good at that. I think you both did so good at that, and I was so happy and excited when you guys started doing that because that was legitimately one of my concerns going into it. I was like, how do I get them to like engage and do shit? How do we figure out what's the right level of like role playing where we don't feel weird, but we're still like being goofy and having fun, and also building out a character and building out relationships between the party members. But I think it came together. Like you guys did so good with it. I was so happy.
Good.
Awesome. That's good to hear because I was hoping that whatever I was doing was enough. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yeah, I think for all of us it was a bit of a slow start, but then we found the groove. And I think even like now I have a much better sense of like each character's personality too, and how other encounters and other conversations between our characters are gonna go. Whereas before this, I had like a very rough idea, but like hardly any. So I'm glad it came together.
Awesome. I'm
Yeah,
excited for the next round.
hell yeah.
Hmm.
Thank you guys so much for waiting it out. I know it took fucking forever to get shit together, but wow, this was fun. I
Hey,
had such
man.
a good
It
time.
it takes a lot of time. Thank you for putting the time in to put it
Mm,
together.
Hell yeah, dude. So excited to see all your hard work.
Hmm.
yeah, yeah, and
So,
it's so crazy too because in my head I'm like, there's so much shit we have to cover. Like there's like the whole story, and this
yeah,
was just like one small tiny little sliver of a start to get us started. But I think it went well, so I'm happy about it.
I do too.
So for next session, when are we doing it?
Is that not went next Wednesday or?
Well, because I won't be available next Wednesday.
Hmm.
Um, because yeah, since yeah,
It is
um,
it is the birthday.
yeah, that too. So because I know you said that you were probably not going to be here. That's why I asked. Because I know I'm also going to be here because
I'll be
my
around on
friends
the.
having.
Uh, I won't be. I'll be around. I won't be in your neck of the woods. Like I'll probably drive up on that Friday, like the 20th, like
Yeah,
Friday
yeah, yeah.
morning.
I have one of my other
No, I
friends'
know.
his birthday. Yeah.
So you're
Um,
driving up on the 20th, you said,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
Probably like in the morning. Um, and then I don't know if you guys. I mean, maybe we can save it for when we meet up, and we can do it like in person.
Next weekend. Yeah,
You want to do that?
I'm down
You could
for
do
that.
that. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I
Okay.
mean, like I said, we can also just pick it up whenever. Because I mean, doesn't I know having like a set schedule is good, but if we're just like I'm
Hmm.
really itching to play some D&D right now, then
Um,
or do you
I
not want to do that?
I
I
think
mean,
if
like
we have
if
the
it's
content, locked and loaded, fine. Otherwise, I would want a set schedule, partly to like give myself a break, and then also partly to like make sure I have enough time to prep between sessions. Because
okay,
basically, like the way it'll probably work is that like during the week in between sessions, or even like the weekend between the next session coming up, is when I'll like prep stuff.
okay. I mean, you just
And
said like you had a couple other things, so I thought that
yeah,
would
no, I mean
suffice
now
enough.
now we're ahead of where I thought we would be, so I have shit ready to go. If we want to do this again soon, that's okay.
Okay.
Um, Otherwise, yeah, we might wait for when we meet up and play an in session like or IRL session. Like that could be
Okay.
fun too.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, so then in that case, what the fuck else did I want to say? I don't remember. Oh yeah, also like I might want to ask that we do it like every other week. Like let's say we do 1 week D&D, 1 week Baldur's Gate, and then alternate.
That's
Okay.
Depend.
fine.
Yeah,
If
depending on
that
how
gives you
much
enough
time I
time,
actually need. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Look, no, if that gives you time, man. Just let us know.
Okay, yeah,
Hmm.
I think that would be helpful. we'll see. Hopefully, I can like do stuff more quickly to where we might be able to do it once a week. Otherwise, yeah, we'll kind of play it by ear, I guess, and figure it out as we go.
Yeah, that's fine.
Right.
Yeah.
Just keep us in the loop.
Definitely. Yeah, thank you
So,
guys.
what now?
Now I get to not talk for a long time.
Well, I
Um,
mean, obviously we're gonna play a